Hello, hey, this is Tony Wickner from Ultratec Special Effects here in Groveland, Florida. We're doing a little demonstration today on how to change the rapid change heat exchanger in some of our machines. So thank you very much for tuning in today. We'll have some questions at the end as Rachel will be feeding those to me after we get to that point. So, okay, well, I'm going to change cameras now so you can get a view of the machines we're working on. So, all right, so here's my workbench here. This is a Premier smoke machine. We're going to do most of our work on this, but I just want you to see a couple other machines that we can work with too. The Battle Fogger also has the same block components in it. And also the 9D. Only difference with the 9D is the block is turned 90 degrees, but the components on the inside are the same, except for the copper tube. It would have its own part number for that as well. So here's our subject for the day. This is the Premier. I've already taken the screws out of the cover. And then the block is in here. There's two screws here as well that I've removed that expose that. So I'm gonna remove that. There's an insulation part here as well. And then here on the inside, this is what is called the thermal bulb. This is what is a temperature sensor to keep the machine from running away. If for some reason the other sensor quits working and it just continually leaves the heat on, it'll stop it at a certain point, a safe point, and keep that from happening. So I'm just going to gently move this out of the way. Then this top here can be removed. I'm using half-inch wrench. Deep socket is better because it will clear without hitting the top of the machine. So I'm going to go ahead and remove those 5 nuts. Once we get these off, we'll just set this aside. And then the next component inside here, this block here is where the thermocouple is attached. This is the thermocouple here. It's what determines the temperature of the machine, so it turns the power off and off to keep the machine in the proper heat range. So you can just gently set this aside so as not to damage the wire there. So next in here, there's an aluminum plate to separate the copper from that aluminum plate so as not to damage it from all the heat. You can see that it's discolored a little bit from all the heat and everything. So next, before I can take out the next part, I have to remove the copper from the pump. So I have a 7/16 inch wrench, and I will disconnect it from the pump with that. And now that that's free, this part will lift out. This is the old copper. It's probably not too bad a shape. A lot of times you'll see lots of scaling on here, and that can be a real problem for heat transfer and maybe make your machine run a little bit wet, but this one looks pretty good. So, and then there's another aluminum plate underneath here. Sometimes it's a little bit hard to get out of there because it's been seated in there for a while, but I've got that out. Okay, so the rest of it you don't have to touch. The rest of it, stays the same. So before we put the new parts in, though, we want to make sure this area is nice and clean and that none of this insulation will get in the way of the new components. You don't want anything in between these plates and the copper and the plates themselves, so have the best possible heat transfer. So anyways, I'm going to use these as a tool and just kind of push these back out of the way. Now we got a nice clean edge to work with. I wouldn't normally do that. I normally have an air compressor handy, but on this workbench, it's just a little bit out of place. So anyways, you will receive a a kit for this. When you buy a new machine, there'll be a spare one of these kits in with your machine. The part number is CLF 4402. So if it's for the 90, it's a different part number because of the different copper tubing. It's the same tubing, but it's got a different bend in it to accommodate that 90 degrees. So anyways, the first thing that will go in will be the bottom plate. It's the bigger of the two plates that are in the kit. So you always get new aluminum plates, new nuts and washers also as well when you get a new kit. So there is a little trick to putting these on. There's one of the holes here that is offset, and that is the one that goes to the back left as looking from the front. It fits right on there. It won't fit any other way. So once that's in place, excuse me, I got the copper piece, which will drop in behind here and then fit through the hole there and down in place. You might have to just kind of spread them just a little bit to drop them in place. Goodness, I got some of that dust in me. This one too also has the same key notation. So it drops in place on top of that. Everything nice and clean and down. And then the next thing to go will be the aluminum plate that has the thermocouple on it. When you get this in place, you want to make sure this thermocouple wire is seated over here in the insulation, up front, in the middle, out of the way. And make sure that that screw is still snug there while you got it open. Then after that, we'll put on a new top plate. I'm sorry, not a new top plate, the original top plate. But we'll put on new nuts and washers. The heating from this will make these washers, they're a lock washer, a spring lock washer, but after time with the pressure and everything, they will become just a flat wash. They won't have any spring left to them, so that's why we change them out every time. So I'm going to put all these nuts on, hand tight. Sorry about the sweating and everything. It's a very humid day here in Florida. It's raining outside right now. There's a front coming through. So last one. Okay, so once I got these all just tight like that, then we'll use our wrench and we get them so they're just snug.
Hey, Tony, Bear would like to know if you're going to have some coffee and donuts.
Coffee and donuts? No, but pizza. We have pizza. Hi, Bear. Okay, so once I get them all snug, just snug with this thing, then we'll go back to the outside and we'll do an extra like 8th turn on each one to get them down tight enough. Kind of like when you're doing a tire on a car, when you're changing the wheel, you kind of go in a back and forth pattern, not all in a circle around. But anyways, those are all snugged up now. And we'll find the home again for our thermal overload wire there. They call that a thermal bulb. So next, we'll go the insulation. That fits right down over the top. And then the cover, there's a couple little notches in the back that slip on there. As you're sliding in, you got to make sure it goes under the front too, but there we go. Now just screws in here. Oh, I didn't connect the pump yet. I'm sorry. One more step. So I don't know if maybe if I turn this around, you can see that better. But there's a fitting on the top of the pump right there that goes on to right there. Got to bend it just right and it'll go right on there. There we go. And then once again, it's a 7/16 wrench to do that. There we go. Well, then that's all it takes to get the block changed out, put the covers back on, and you're good to go again. And I'll switch back to the camera. Boy, goodness, I'm sweating profusely here. So anyways, anybody has any questions about anything, we can take those at this time.
We don't have any comments as of right now, Tony. You should
don't?
probably get yourself a really nice turbo fan to help you with all that heat.
Yeah, and that's something that's nice and quiet. Yeah, I closed the doors a few minutes ago to keep the noise out, and boy, did it get hot in here. So
We got to get you an air conditioner.
well, we have an air conditioner in our regular workshop, but we're out here in our virtual tech booth here. So if you missed this was going to be at the next trade shows, but everybody missed those. So
Yeah. Yeah, and I made a mistake. Bear wanted to know if we were going to have cake and coffee, not donuts.
Cake.
Cake.
Well, I'm trying to get a knee surgery done, so I'm trying to lose a little bit of weight. So I'm back to eating the low carb way again. So
no cake. John Poon would like to know how often you need to change it, or how would you know if it needs changing?
That's pretty much going to be based on performance. If all of a sudden you got it at a setting that you're used to using and you're not getting nearly as much output, it might be time to do so. So I don't think there's really a recommended, how much fluid to run through it there like there is in the Radiance. It's just kind of when your performance starts to go down. We do have Easy Clean that you can use with these machines. You can run Easy Clean fluid through there and you can prolong the life of the copper tubing as well. So that's another one of our products. Not suitable for the Radiance, but perfect for all these smoke machines. So
how often do you usually run Easy Clean through, Tony?
Well, once again, that might be kind of performance based. Some companies, they have a schedule. They'll, maybe do it on a weekly or a monthly basis, but the Easy Clean runs for about 5 minutes through the machine. And then after that, you would run your regular fluid back through it for about 2 minutes because you don't want to leave the Easy Clean inside the copper.
All righty. I do know that we have Angelo in the service department who's always willing to help any customer who has questions about that. So
for sure.
Yep. Along with you.
Say what?
Along with you.
Oh, yes. Me and Mike Ray, who works here as well. He's like an expert too. We call him the Radiance Whisperer. So he knows just about anything we need to know about that.
Radiance Whisperer.
Radiance Whisperer.
John Poon would like to know, is there a purging when you store the machine like the Radiance?
Actually, it's probably better to leave a little fluid in the copper on these machines. That's why we say with the Easy Clean, you want to run some fluid, back into it. So it's more likely to build up some scaling on the inside of the tubing if there's nothing in the tubing at all.
Yeah. Okay. So all right. Yeah, I think that's all the questions we have as of for right now.
Okay. Well, we'll certainly be checking the comments on Facebook and all, and we'll certainly be answering those questions for anybody who sees this later and everything. So, well, anyways, is that it for today then?
I think that's it for today.
Okay.
I will go ahead and on the comment section of our website here in this actual video, I'm going to put the service email address. So if you have any questions regarding service of any of our products, you can always email Angelo. And if you'd like to speak with Angelo, Tony, or Michael Ray, feel free to contact them at any time and they'll be more than happy to help you. So if that's it, then that's all. And Tony?
Well, thank you very much. Appreciate it. We're going to be doing more of these. We have the G3000 machine, which has a similar rapid change system, but it's a little bit more complicated. We'll probably be doing that. And if you have anything you're wanting to see, a demonstration of for maintenance or anything else, we could probably handle that in the near future. So, all right. Well, thank you very much for joining us and have a great day.
Thanks, Tony.
Thanks.